subject matter that puts you in a place of never enough. Fear puts you in a place to where you cannot accept the goodness of the Lord or even experience the goodness of the Lord in a state to where you can be happy. Fear causes you not to experience the place that God has already prepared for you. Fear has caused you not to be able to see where God has taken you because you're fearful that it ain't going to be real. You're fearful that it ain't going to last. You're fearful that you're going to do something to screw it up. So therefore, you would rather not even accept it as God. You said, this can't be real. You won't even talk to certain people because you said, it can't be real. You won't even accept the blessing that God has sent through somebody else. You said, it can't be real. It's got to be something behind it. Fear is the absence of God's love. You say, I don't deserve this, so I can't accept it. I just got a promotion, but I can't believe it. I'm afraid that somebody else will come by and take this promotion. So therefore, I got to do more now to keep the promotion. If God put you there, that's enough to keep it. See, a person that's going somewhere and that understands that where they're going is where they're supposed to be going, then they don't look back. But a person that's not sure, they're always going to look back over their shoulder. I wonder when this is going to end. My wife used to say, she said, I wondered if we're going to always ever be together with the things we're going through, the things that we went through. Fear. And I used to wonder when we first got married, I can't get along with her. I can't please her enough. She can't please me. Will we ever still be together always? Fear. But when we got past that fear, now we look at each other and just smile. See, something about love that casts out all fear. So those of you that's telling you that you love God and you walking in fear, I want to tell you something. There is no love because your love is tied to if it works. And if it don't work, then I've got my self-preservation, which is in my fear. And my fear has stopped me from even entering into places of peace and rest because I'm looking for this thing to blow open again. I'm going to talk this morning briefly how to take your mess and walk into your success.
All right. All right, go ahead.
David was said to be after God's own heart. But David was a whoremonger. David was a murderer. David was a liar. David was deceitful. David was very unfaithful to God. But yet he was after who? God's own heart. How can you be after God's own heart but be all of that and this and that? And many of you can attest that, yeah, I've been deceitful. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've been a liar. Yeah, I've slept with more than one man. Yeah, I've slept with more than one woman. And some of us are probably doing it right now. But I want to tell you, God don't have a problem with you sleeping with more than one woman and one man. That's your problem. I'm going to say it again. That's your problem. God don't have a problem with you lying. That's your problem. God don't have a problem with you stealing. That's your problem. Some people say, no, you lying. God has a problem with sin. If God had a problem with sin, God would still be here trying to fix sin. God ain't here trying to fix nobody's sin or nobody's ways or nobody's issues. God's already fixed it. You just don't know it. Your fear has caused you to come back into a place of lying, being deceitful, being stealing, being a murderer, being a whoremonger. Why? Because you are fearful that if you didn't do such and such, you wouldn't be able to keep this man or this woman. Fear has put you in a place where your mess has become so evident that you don't even like yourself. It's become so great that you begin to now, see, that's one thing about bad breath. Many people can't smell their own breath. And you wonder, and I just wonder, wait a minute, God, why can't I not smell my breath and it's coming right out of my mouth, my nose right there close to it? It's something about you become immune to your own self. You become immune to your failures, that you stay in failure. My daddy left mama when I was 2. You don't understand. I was orphaned at the age of 6 months. I never felt love. You don't understand. I was raped at the age of 12 by my daddy's brother. You don't understand that I was molested by 4 different men that I trusted. You don't understand that my own brother, I caught him in the bed with my wife. You don't understand these things that I'm going through, but you want me to smile. You don't understand. Joseph did nothing to either one of his brothers like you did nothing to cause your brother to sleep with your wife. Joseph did nothing to either of his brothers to cause them to throw him in a pit and then sell him as a slave. Like you never did anything to cause those men to molest you. Like you as a boy that's now saying that you're gay or you have feelings for another man, but yet you were raped at the point of 5 years old. Then you were raped again at the point of 10 years old. Then when you were 18, you were gang raped by other boys. But now they say you're a full-fledged gay, and you don't understand that that's why I'm the way I am. See, I want to tell you something in trauma that I experienced, that I understand in trauma. Sometimes in trauma, when things are done wrong to you, the thing that you fail to realize is what makes you be acceptable to that trauma again, and then begin to live a lifestyle after that trauma, is that during that trauma, you had a reaction, a feeling to that trauma that you really didn't acknowledge that you enjoyed part of it. See, that's the part about the one that's abused. Sometimes in the abuse, there was something that happened that when you were being abused, during the intercourse of it, something, it hit a nerve, but you didn't like it, but it hit a nerve, and part of it that you adjusted to, and now you want that same feeling again. And so you go on living that way, you go on being repetitive as being an abuser or being in sexual promiscuity, because that feeling that you had in there, you're now doing it again, and you don't understand that. Wait a minute. You mean to tell me that I enjoy part of it? See, when you talk to people that have been abused, when my mother was abused, my mother didn't like the abuse. Well, my mother liked feeling that she was number one to my dad. But she didn't like the abuse, the physical abuse. But there was something in her that kept her to dad. And I said, Mom, why do you stay here? She said, you just don't understand. So when I meet people that are acting in an abusive situation, I never talk against the one that's abusing them. I talk to them how they feeling while they've been abused. And they don't realize that there's something in that abuse that caught them off guard that they really liked. That's why I said, how could I not smell my breath? How could you not see that what you were in was actually killing you, but yet there was something inside of you that was holding you there while you were being abused? It's something that you now become immune to. And many of us don't want to recognize or realize that there's something within us that's actually keeping us in that abusive situation. I'm going to talk to you this morning about your mess, how it's going to take you to your success. Joseph here. Joseph was cast in a position that he never asked for. You were cast in a position that you never asked for. And I understand this. Okay? Many of us have situations this morning, we never asked for them. We didn't look for them. But Joseph, he was thrown down in a pit by his brothers that was jealous of him. Why do you suppose that when you get a promotion, there's many people around you that can't stand you even more? Why is it that when something that seems to be good that they should be cheering you on about, they're seemingly the ones that are secretly giving you the coldness that you feel in the room? But you want to feel love. Why is it then that all of the abuse that I went through and you expect me to get up? You expect me to keep going. You expect that I shouldn't be this way. You said I shouldn't feel this way. You said I shouldn't think this way. I want to tell you something about you. The stuff that you're in, God knew that you were going to be in it. See, many times our purpose takes us down roads that we're not ready for the things that we're going to experience while we're going down that road. You mean to tell me it was purpose that I got beat? It was purpose that I got murdered? It was purpose in behind it? It's purpose in everything that happens in the life that you're living The thing about it is, you want to become immune to it and say it ain't supposed to happen to you. Destiny is the road that you travel to purpose. It's the thing that you're involved, that you'll experience while you're walking in your purpose. See, destiny says this here. If you're going to change your purpose, you're going to change your destiny. Destiny are the things that you experience while you're going and walking after your purpose. David was destined to be a whoremonger. Oh, I know I just lost something. I'm about to drop this mic. David was destined to be a whoremonger. But watch this. David lost some things because of the murder that he did with Uriah. That he caused Uriah to die so he could have his wife. So that was part of David's destiny going toward his what? Purpose. There's some things that you've experienced along the way, and I'm going to teach you this morning, is that I hope that you quit being fearful of making the next move. Because everything that's happened to me, I told you, this little mark on top of my head, I didn't get from falling. I got when I was 12 years old from my father. He cut me with a knife purposely. That was part of my destiny. After that, anger and rage came out of me that every time I got in a fight, I was going to make sure that you never came back toward me again. And I carried that anger throughout life, even into my marriage, into my relationships, into my jobs, into the people that I came upon. You knew that, hey, if you come at me, you got something. My look told you, my body language told you, my conversation told you. Everything about me was full of anger. I would never be put in a position where I couldn't defend myself or my family again. And that's the way I lived my life. Now knowing that I didn't need these to defend my family. I needed this to be in the right standing, in the right place with God to defend them and put them in a position where they would be successful. The whole kit and caboodle about life is understanding this here. If I'm going through it, it has to be a part of my purpose. I hope it just helping you pull something in. There's some things that you're in trouble with that you don't want to happen. I understand this. You want to throw the garbage out. But the garbage has been turned into recycling. The garbage that you go through in your life, learn to recycle it. Because in recycling it, you get to redo it. You get to reestablish it. You get to repurpose the whole thing that happened. In other words, you now understand why garbage came into your life. Because did you know they pay you well if you learn how to recycle? Because there's companies right now that are recycling your garbage and they're making money off of it, but you yet are still not benefiting from it. There's people now that are benefiting off of prisoners, off of their mistakes. When are you going to learn to benefit off of your own? Joseph was taken down into the pit. Here it is, you're standing now, and you did not choose to be treated the way you are. You didn't choose for your husband to come in and have a bad day, and now all of a sudden the whole house is messed up, the kids that you had cooked, he didn't want to eat. Not only did he not want to eat, he didn't have two words for you. Next thing you know, you look at his phone accidentally. You see he's been communicating with another woman. You go a little farther, he's talking about doing things that he's never done with you. But he's still in the house with you. You didn't do anything to deserve this. So you say, how is this working out for my good? How is this working out for my good, God? I prayed to you. I've been good. I've done this and I've done that. So you said, this is not supposed to happen to me. Then all of a sudden you begin to doubt the very God that you've been going after. You've paid your tithes and offering. You've given when the preacher said given. You've given to the poor. You've done everything that you know to do. But yet this happened to me. There's some parents right now that say, I've done all I could do for my children. We've kept them in church, but yet they're still on drugs. I know you're out there. You've done everything that you feel was right. You followed it the letter to the T, but yet you still find yourself in dire situations. Joseph here His father loved him. His brothers didn't. There's two contrasts there. One of them, he's doing right, and it still happens to him. The others are not doing right, but nothing happens to them. Nothing happens to them. In fact, they get to go on living their life with their father. They get to go on living their life farming and being with each other. But here is Joseph now has been separated from the very thing that he loved. And he did everything right with his father, and his father loved him. And I want to tell you this morning, God loves you, and you've done everything right with God. But there's some things that's happening in your life that you can't understand. And you've gone through some things that still affect you. I'm going to say it right now. You've gone through some things that happened 20 years ago that still affect you right now in your life and in your relationship. You don't even know how to deal with it. You tried, in fact, you put it behind you. You put it in a book. Many of you prayed and wrote it down in a book and covered it up and prayed over it. And you refuse, whatever it is, you try to lock and compartmentalize this thing and put it away to where it don't affect your lifestyle, but it always comes back to affect everything that you're doing. Many of you have given up. Many of you now have had dreams and vision that comes by every now and then and taps you on the shoulder and taps you on the heart of your mind and say, hey, I'm still here. I still gave you this desire, but you say, I can't do it. There's too much happening. There's too much going on. I mean, nobody's going to trust me. Nobody's going to believe me. I don't even have the desire no more. I'm going to tell you something about your desire. If it comes back to you and you still have a desire. Purpose never leaves you. You can't throw it away. Because guess why? You didn't give yourself purpose. God did. Joseph. He was in the pit. And you sit there in the pit. Imagine him down in a pit. Now watch this now. In the ground. That pit was so deep that he couldn't climb out of it. There's things that's happening in your life that you feel that's happening to you that you can't climb out of it. You just continue to exist with it. There's some things you hadn't told your wife. Oh, I know it. That's the thing you had, and the wife hadn't told the husband. That's happened to you. You hadn't told anyone. Now watch this. For those of you that think you got your children tell you everything, that should be a testament that if there's some things that you have not told your husband, then there's some things that your children have not told you. So don't get this thing twisted that I've got everything right with my child, because guess what? If you got something that you hadn't told, he got something that they hadn't told. Your mess is needed for you to get to your successful place. You said it was needed for me. It was needed for my daddy to cut me. It happened. If it happened to you, it's part of your plan for your purpose. If it happened to you, it's part of your plan in your purpose along the road of destiny. So get over why it happened and accept that it happened, and now say, which direction do I go? How do I fit this into my life? Because see, I'm beyond being shot at, because I remember the time my father shot at me, and my father could be riding down the road with a gun, and guys, he'd pull up with his rifle, and that rabbit still be moving, the car be moving, boom. A rabbit now, boom. So now imagine me, bigger than the rabbit, running down the road, and I hear the buckshot hitting the grass and the rocks behind me and beside me. And I recognize, wait a minute. I got to thinking after that happened the third time. I said, wait a minute. I've seen Daddy shoot and put his gun up in a car and shoot a rabbit. Now, I know big as I am running down that road, he can shoot me. But for whatever reason, watch this now, for whatever reason, the pellets never hit me. That wasn't part of my destiny for the pellets to hit me, because if it was, guess what? They would have hit me. There's some things that have happened to you in life. If you learn to look at them from the other side, they will take you to places you've never been that you only dreamed of. I'm at a place right now, I had a dream doing this when I was a teenager. I had a dream, I had a vision of doing what I'm doing right now as a teenager. And I hated God. I hated God because I saw the abuse that we suffered as a family. I saw the poverty that we were in. I told you before I didn't get a pair of underwear until I was 12. Now kids getting underwear, they never know that they don't have underwear. Babies are getting underwear in some places. There's some people in the city right now that don't have underwear. But you that have yours, you've got other problems, so you think. See, you don't have a problem. Your problem is your thinking. You really don't have a problem because when you learn to think differently, that you thought you had, you recognize it ain't what I thought it is. You move on from it. Joseph, imagine this man in the pit, didn't see a way out. He's wondering, why is this happening to me? What did I do to them? What did I do for my family to feel this way about me? I was good to them, man. I love my family. Why did they put me in this hole? See, I know why it's ringing out. Why did these things have to happen, God? Why can't me and him not get along? Why can't the kids not see what we're trying to say, God? Why did they walk out? Why did they do what they're doing? Then you hinge your whole life on what didn't happen to you or what did. And your life seems to come to a standstill. Joseph sitting in the hole. Watch this now. Joseph sitting in the hole. God calls him to sell his brother. God calls him to sell his brother out of the hole. Why? Because God needed Joseph down in Egypt. And the way God gets you to where he needs you, you ain't going to agree with it. The way God makes things happen in your life, brother, you might not agree with the way he do your children when they get to a certain age, but he got to get them somewhere. And you are thinking that you're still going to have control of them for the rest of their life or until they get 18, and sometimes he moved them at 16. Sometimes he moved them at 15. But God allowed Joseph to go to the pit. He allowed his brothers to cast him into the pit. He allowed Joseph to feel left out, deserted, and not worthy enough to even be a part of the family no more. Joseph, I can imagine sitting in that pit. Now, how many of you could be in a pit right now with a top over and it's cold down there and you know worms and everything coming through the pit and your family threw you in the pit? You'll be there crying, boo-hoo, and everything else. What? Why did these suckers throw me in here? God, what happened? His father didn't know where his son was. Imagine what was happening to his father. But I want to stick with Joseph. See, you got purpose. And in your purpose, after you've gone through some things that you ain't like, that you want to give up, you probably want to do harm to some other folk, or you probably want to do some this and that to other people. But you got purpose. And in your purpose, you got a destiny that you got to go through to attain, to accomplish, to bring your purpose to pass. God allowed Joseph to go to the pit. He allowed his brothers to not like him. He allowed them to show him hate. See, that's the thing that some of you want to walk off your job right now. Don't do it. Some of you ready to do some other things right now. I'm going to tell you right now, don't do it. Because you're following the pleasure of your emotions. And since your emotions are not going the way you want, and you're not getting the pleasure that you want, you're going to make a decision that's going to cost you even more. It may be not, you may be saying, you don't understand, I'm not getting what I need. Joseph didn't understand. Joseph wasn't getting what he needed. God allowed him to go to the pit. God allowed him to be in that era to where he could not function the way he once was. But in doing so, where was God? Where's God right now while you're going through all you're going through? You're feeling left. You're feeling left out. You're feeling out of place. Many people say, this is the thing about here I understand about church. There's not many people that's out there that the church is drawing. Church is drawing church to church. They're not drawing people from out there. Unless you go out there and become as Jesus did. Jesus did what? Became as they were. How do we know that? They classified Jesus as what? A sinner. They classified him as a Beelzebub. They later called him as a whoremonger because they say he had a baby with Mary Magdalene, had sex with Mary Magdalene. Get my point? When you begin to do different things, you're going to be classified differently. So if your classification has not produced the success you want, then you need to do what? Joseph was there in the pit. God allowed him to be there. God allowed his brothers to now cause his brothers to sell him. Because the environment that Joseph was in was not going to produce for the whole entire family what God needed him to do. God chose Joseph. When I recognized God chose me, for me to go through the things that I was in while I was in my family and while I was coming up, I recognize now I'm in the right place at the right time. It brings me joy to have this scar. It brings me joy to still remember and hear the sounds of those bullet pellets coming and hitting the grass as I'm running, and hitting the rocks and moving the rocks while I'm running. Knowing that this man, I've seen him shoot. I've seen my dad shoot. My dad told me how to hold a gun and shoot and hit the target that I'm shooting at. So now I'm running, this man, he pulled his rifle out and he can't hit me. I'm bigger than this. The rabbit about that big, guys, when he hit. The rabbit about that big that he hit. And when he hit the rabbit, each time he hit the rabbit just flip until it stopped. I'm this high, and I'm running, and he can't hit big old me. Come on, guys. Somebody look at your neighbor and say, purpose is real. Ain't no need of me keep crying in the state that I'm in. I want you to wake up this morning. I really want you to wake up. I really want you to stop making excuses. I really want you to take hold of the life that you've been given. I don't want you to make lemonade for yourself. I want you to make the world some lemonade.